Hello everyone, Toofelhoont here, and today we're going to talk through some strategies to learn Total Warhammer 3 more effectively. I'm calling this our Boom Hammer strategy. More on this at the end of the video. Now, I never approach learning in absolutes because everyone learns differently and at different paces. So instead of focusing on the best way, each person should focus on the most effective way. What I'm about to cover will work for over 80% of those wanting to learn if you adopt it. I know this simply because I have years of experience teaching adults, using multiple delivery strategies to create effective learning environments in my professional life. It's what I have done as a career. I provide these details to assist anyone who may doubt my credibility. Let me share with you the strategies I am taking to learn and get better at Total War Warhammer 3. This video is going to consist of mindsets and behaviors. It will be essential to have the proper mindset going into learning this game, otherwise you're likely to find your spirit broken and the game uninstalled. These points are in no specific order, as they each are a part of the foundation you need to build. 1. Set realistic expectations around your progress. If you haven't watched plenty of videos on the game yet, you surely will. Those videos are bound to be by people who have a heightened level of skill in the game. Always remember this and maintain a realistic perspective that your skill level will not match most of those who create the resources you will consume, not without practice and repetition. In this vein, I suggest you learn the game from the beginning on normal. There's plenty of opinion on the matter, and the majority state that anything lower than normal either provides too little of a realistic learning experience or is not programmed to behave at the lower level you selected. Trust me, the way we're going to approach learning Warhammer 3, doing so in normal will not dictate failure. 2. This is a marathon, not a sprint. For the majority of people, regardless of age, learning fast is rarely a path to success. You need to look at your learning journey through Warhammer 3 as a marathon. Do not rush the process, not if you truly want to achieve your goals. Approach this like a sprint and you will more than likely be left in the dust by frustration. So, how do you approach this as a marathon? You play each campaign with the intent of learning one or two things at a time. These are the two main areas you focus on. In my Total Novice series, I am simply giving insight into the same approach by trying each of the factions to learn the very basics of their mechanics. If I can find the faction mechanics that fit my style and preference, then my journey of learning can be done with factions that I've already identified I will enjoy. You must always remember, enjoyment and entertainment need to exist while you learn in order to keep your patience and perseverance high. As a marathon learner, you will start and restart time and again. Most people jump into the game with the idea of start, learn, win in their first or second campaign. There's nothing wrong with that approach if you have strong comprehension from the beginning. That isn't most of us. Instead, start, learn, then do it all over again. If you work on 1 to 2 areas at a time, manual battles, diplomacy, faction mechanics, using magic, etc., then your next learning campaign should see improvement in those areas and will allow you to advance into learning new things. This is the idea of incremental learning. If you can learn to embrace it, you will be better off for it. 3. Fight the overwhelmingly easy fights whenever you can and have the time. In these circumstances, you have the greatest room for forgiveness as you make mistakes. Expect those mistakes. Embrace them as opportunities to learn, not as failures. Whether you are practicing on casting magic, your cavalry charges, formations, or a plethora of other game mechanics, use each manual battle as an opportunity to learn. Utilize the pause button, for goodness sake. I can understand how most want to be able to control and win fights without pausing, but everyone needs to learn to crawl before they can walk. I can promise you this, it's the repetition of the fighting, as well as building a process of strategy that is going to allow you to walk much sooner than beating your head against the "I refuse to use pause" wall. Lastly, each of those manual fights allow you to save them, as well as fight them again. If you enjoy studying strategies, especially your own, saving your manual fights to watch later can offer a wonderful tool to learn. If you have the time, you can fight the battle again, whether to achieve a better end or just get further practice. The game even has the functionality to allow you to access those saved battles and fight them over. Remember, this is a marathon and not a sprint, so take the tools the game offers to get better as time allows. 4. The final component of our mindset is going to be to focus on building muscle memory in areas we can. As you get into the game and learn more, find the places where you can create a process of habit. For example, as you're learning about army control groups, my suggestion is to do your best to always group certain units the same in every campaign. This way, as you continue to play through the game, you will build efficiencies in your gameplay. Diplomacy can be another area where you can build habits. Find what works for you and when. Each faction is going to require different approaches for sure, but you can still utilize consistencies within your processes. Whether it is checking quick deals every 5 turns, 10 turns, and simply only focusing on your direct neighbors, I urge you to find consistencies and then practice them going forward. As you learn, you will experience aspects of the game over and over, and your experience will be better served by building habits. Okay, that was a lot of talking. These may not have been the type of tips you were hoping for, but it's important to remember that for most people, a strong foundation to their learning is what dictates sustained comprehension. That is the goal for myself, and that is what I am hoping to impart to you through these strategies. It's natural for most to want to rush into the game, wanting to learn everything. But in reality, all it does is block and stunt our growth. So, now you have been armed with some insight into the psychology of human learning. It can be applied to anything we try to learn, and different things require different amounts of time. Build this mindset, create a foundation of principles to begin learning Warhammer 3 with, and then advance in your learning. This won't be the last learning video for our Total Novice series, but if you have a desire to truly learn the game and want to be able to conquer, then this is the most effective first step. If you're like me, an older gamer, perhaps a boomer, as defined by our much younger gaming counterparts, then this is your first step in beating Warhammer 3 using our very own Boom Hammer strategy. These won't be the only effective strategies to learn this game, or any game. If you have learning strategies you have employed now or in the past, please feel free to share them in the comments. Honestly, we're all in this together, and we all have to start somewhere. Even your favorite Total War creators were once noobs at the game. If you could support these strategies, feel free to like the video and subscribe. My goal is to help others learn the game so they can enjoy it. Until the next one, stay safe and stay healthy. Goodbye, everyone.